And welcome everyone to something slightly different than what you guys are used to. I thought it would be kind of fun to kind of just take a little break from Extra. Extra is still going up this week. Actually, by the time you guys see this, Extra would already have been up. I'm recording this first though, just because I kind of wanted to. I decided to kind of make a tier list of all of my, all the sabers in Fate Grand Order. So a few things just real quick. You'll notice that you can't see the servants at the bottom. So just as a precaution, if you don't want to be spoiled on future servants in JP, because this does cover every servant that is a saber in Fate Grand Order JP up until Lost Belt 5.2, now's your chance to turn away. Second thing is just a reminder, this is my personal opinion. Obviously, everyone's got different tastes in what characters they like. Just because I say I like this character doesn't mean that you have to like it. I would actually be more interested and hope everyone disagrees with my choices and lets me know down in the comments what you guys would change on this tier list. So, with that being said, let's get started. So, real quick, you can see here I've got all the servants, at least saber servants. At least I'm pretty sure I did. It took me like I counted a few times, and you'll notice like Daoskuri is not their not good art, the April Fool's art, because they obviously are not within the April Fools, and I didn't realize that until after I had already started saving them, and I didn't feel like resaving all the images again. So, real quick, just to kind of run through it, obviously, this tier list is not based on how good a servant is. It is based on just my personal opinion of what I think of them as a servant. If I like them, if I hate them, if I think their kit's good, if I think it's bad, is kind of irrelevant. But it's kind of just what I feel like on them. You know, obviously, I feel like the S tier is it's going to be pretty obvious on who is where. That being said, the Golden Honey tier, there is only going to be one servant that's available to be up there. And we'll deal with that at the very end. It's going to be someone from the S tier. So we'll go and get started. Like I said, if you guys like to see these type of things in the future, let me know down in the comments. And I kind of said it earlier, but let me know what choices you guys would change or what your tier list would be. I'll try, if I can remember, I'll try to link this tier list in the description of this video. So that way you can make your own tier list and share it with me on Twitter or DM at me on Discord, or, you know, just there's plenty of ways to get in touch with me. So we'll go and get started. First, we're going to go and knock out two easy ones. Nero, obviously S. Nero Bride, also obviously going to be an S tier. Just pretty quick. And for anyone that doesn't know, Nero waifu, top tier waifu. I won't say she's the reason I got into Fate, but she's definitely the reason why I play Grand Order as hard as I do. Another one that's pretty easy to guess is just Musashi. She's also going to be right up in the S tier. Back when Musashi, or when I first of all, I've always liked like the Musashi lore and legend and stuff like that. And when I learned that she was actually in Grand Order, I was like, oh, I'm really excited. And then I learned she was actually good. But more importantly, her character design through like Shimosa, and even for the first Lost Belt, was pretty great on that one. So I just really like her character. And after that, we'll kind of go ahead and get started with a few that are just kind of like meh. Rama, C tier. Not really a big fan of Rama. Just, you know, he doesn't really get a lot of screen time, and meh. He's very meh to me. We'll go Caesar, D tier. So I like Rome. Rome is great. Let me go ahead and say that. I cannot stand Caesar though from Fate Grand Order. I guess it's mainly his like his appearance and stuff, but I don't know. He just doesn't really do it for me on that at all. Artoria. Artoria's a tough one. So obviously Artoria is what got me into Fate. Back in Dean's Day Night, I remember seeing it and going, I have no idea what this is, but it's great. And really enjoyed Artoria a fair bit. And like when I first got into Fate, she was definitely, I guess technically the waifu, but she was also man, I can't even remember when Dean Stay Night was like first came out, but I was naive, so naive. But as anyone knows, she loves spooking me non-stop in Grand Order. But as a result, she gives me a few USOs. She's given me actually several USOs. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and throw you in the B tier at this point. She was what got me into Fate, but at the same time, she hasn't really done a whole lot other than that. And especially now. Although I did recently get her Bond 10. Salter. Pretty much the same thing as Artoria, except for much cooler. And I kind of like her design more in her character. We're going to go ahead and give her all the way up to an A tier. We'll go ahead and start with Saber, or I guess next will be Saber Lilly. So, Saber Lilly is a very interesting character. Before I kind of knew what Grand Order is, I actually saw things of like Saber Lilly, and I just thought it was a recoloring or a reskin of Artoria. Which, I mean, I guess technically it is. I didn't expect it to be her younger version. And actually, I end up, out of all of the base face Artorias, I actually end up liking Lily more. Just because of her, like, character, which was kind of cemented during Saber Wars. And even though she doesn't hit, like, super hard or anything, her personality is pretty great. And I also really, really like her design. So, she, A tier. Siegfried. Siegfried, unfortunately, Siegfried's not. He's definitely B tier. He's nothing like super crazy at the moment. I have been using him and started to like him more. His animation updates kind of help with that as well. APOC really hurt him though. He didn't do anything. You know what? Siegfried, C tier actually. I'm gonna move him down to C. He's just very. I don't know. He hasn't really impressed me as much. He's good for farming and stuff, but as a character on whole, just meh. Very. You know what? No, we're going back up to B tier with him. He's very meh. He's middle of the road. That's where we're sticking with that. Sigurd. So here's where things are going to get kind of interesting because obviously I haven't played I don't play JP. So character personalities, other than like what I see from like screenshots and stuff like that. And like their art is pretty much all I'm going to be able to base it off of. And obviously if they have a, like for instance Maeve down here, her having a rider form, I kind of know what her personality is going to be like. Sigurd design-wise, I actually kind of like Sigurd's design-wise. But obviously because I haven't actually seen his like personality and stuff like that, I'm going to have to throw him in the C tier. He's got a really cool MP and stuff, but that's about it from what I know about him. And next we'll have Maeve. I actually quite like Maeve. I don't know if it's known. She's definitely not my favorite, but when I do have a chance to use her effectively, I'll definitely use her just because she's got a really good voice actor, and her whole backstory about dying with some cheese is just hilarious. So we're gonna go ahead and move her up to an A tier. Dear Mood. Alright, I don't know if this is gonna surprise anyone. D tier. Disappointing in Fate Zero. His Saber version was like why does this character need to exist other than it being just a character in Fate Zero to make him not crap? So go ahead and moving him straight up D tier. Where will we put Landling? Honestly, he's an arts memer type thing, but I'm not too impressed with his character design. He hasn't really like stood out to me like some of the other characters will, like in the future that we'll get to. I'm honestly C tier on it. Just because, like I said, obviously I don't know what his personality's like, but from what I've seen, to me he's just kind of slightly under middle of the road. Obviously these rankings might change when I actually do when I actually mess with them and actually see their like kind of backstory. But that's for another day on that one. Next, we're gonna go ahead and have Lil Burb herself. B tier for her. I quite like her attack animations and stuff like that, and she's kind of funny. Also, she is referenced in Fate Grand Order a little bit in NA at this point. And I know she can really do some damage against 0 KP if you decide to do that like a madman like I was at one point. But design-wise kind of hurts, her being the little one she is. But I do really like her attack animations. They're all very fluid and quick. So there is that. So next is like Shimi. Honestly, this character I forgot existed. So we're gonna go ahead and put you back in the D tier. Also, I just realized how even these tiers, or the tier list is so far with 3 each. Jason. Alright, Jason. Ooh, do I want S or A? So I love Jason's like attack animations. I like the lore of Jason and the Argonauts. His attack and MP animations though were absolutely amazing. I think we're gonna throw A. That's what I think. Yeah, definitely feeling A. He's got one of like the best MPs ever, just for the animation alone. Hokusai, or as many of the people that go to my streams will know that I used to call her Hokuisa, S tier. Easy peasy. I really like Hokusai. Another New Year servant that I really, well, her foreigner form is at least. I really liked her design. I liked what she did. She's also very funny. I imagine her Saber form is also going to be just as funny. So we'll go ahead and do that, or leave her up in the S tier. Astolfo, A tier. I also really like Astolfo. APOC was one of in APOC. Astolfo was probably one of the only, if not the only, redeeming thing for me. On that, Astolfo is pretty funny, and I imagine I'm gonna like his Saber form just as much as I do his Router form when that comes out. Arthur, B tier. Similar to Artoria in a sense of he's really, he's very middle of the road. I do like his design, but that's about it. Obviously, we haven't got like a prototype anime or anything like that other than like that one OVA. His little bit of story time that we've gotten with him, like through his interludes and stuff like that, have been interesting, but nothing like over the top or nothing insane. So middle of the road, don't hate, but he's nothing to write home for. Altera, go ahead. Ooh, do I put you in A? Altera's I think I have to put you in A. Actually, you know, if this was her archer form, I would probably put her in A. We're gonna put her in B. I do like Altera, especially from Fate Extra, or not Extra, Extella, but I like her Lily form slightly more, personality-wise and stuff. And I also like her archer form a little more because she's more of a jokester on that one. So we'll see if I might change my mind and move her back up to A. She's a very close one to move up there. Next we have Bedevere, C tier. He's okay. We journeyed with him through Camelot, but that's pretty much it. He hasn't done much since. And like I said, his design's okay. At first I thought he was a female. He is not. Obviously I keep saying he because he is a he. But you know, we'll leave him in C tier. He's not the worst. He's not middle of the ground either though, is the thing. So C tier is probably appropriate. Eon, D tier. One of my first sabers that actually burned, even before they were MP5. Eon was really, I've got no attachments. I know that they showed up in he showed up in, or he or she, whichever you prefer. I normally say she, but she showed up in Agartha. I didn't care for Agartha's story much at all. To me, I thought it was very, very boring. Didn't really help that, and anytime she's been like kind of up and about within the story, haven't really been very memorable. So D tier on that one. Dioscuri. So here's the thing with them. When I first saw them, my initial thought was very meh. And they would have probably been in the D tier. Then I saw their kit, and I decided to look further into them. Pretty cool looking, and I also really like their attack animations now. Well, their attack animations and their MP animations. At first, I didn't really. The reason I didn't care for them is because they weren't really talked about a whole lot, and I didn't really check on their like attack animations. I didn't really pay too much attention to it. But seeing how that is like from then, I've really decided to like their character. Like I said, from their skill set, just from their animations alone, I'm sure they play a pretty important part in the newest Lost Belt. We're going to actually, and this is going to kind of surprise everyone, well, maybe it won't, I don't know. We're going to go ahead and put them up in the A tier for it. Elizabeth, Saber form. If it was your Lancer form, I would probably put you in the A tier as well, but it's your Saber form. I really don't care much for your outfit, and your event was very okay. We're going to put you... Ooh, B or C. We'll put you in the B tier, just because you are Elizabeth and you're Nero's rival. No, you know what? C tier. We're going to put you in the C tier. That's what we're going to do. Fergus, C tier. Easy. Fergus... He's okay. He's Brock wannabe. Needs an AoE Saber that's not, you know, a 4-star. There you go. His child form was pretty interesting, but even then I still probably would put him in the C. I don't know if he's really done anything in the story other than like maybe NA or when you go to North America. I can't remember if he even showed up for that. So he's very forgettable. Saber Fran. I actually really like Fran. Another, well, I won't say a highlight in APOC because she really also was kind of a disappointing in APOC. The APOC event, though, she was pretty great. I'm going to go and put Saber Fran, A tier. Like her kit, like her design. Sucks she's got a bunch of demerits, but it's also, when she was actually, during her event, or during summer, she was pretty funny. Gawain, Chad, you, D tier. You know what you did. For anyone that doesn't know, he calls Nero a whore of Babylon. Instant D tier. Saber Giles, D tier. Very forgettable. Easy. Probably the easiest one on here. So, there's that. Lancelot, Chainsaw, McGee. We're going to move you all the way up to S tier. For those that don't know, I actually really like his... or do I want to put it... Yeah, we'll put him in the... yeah, we'll put him in the S. Nah, we're going to put him actually... Do I... We'll put him in the A. We'll put him in the A. For now. I really do like his kit. Nah, we're moving him to S. The more and more I think about it, I like his kit. I like his design. He was pretty interesting in Camelot. On that end, his backstory is pretty great. In a whole as well, being really tied to MASH and them. So, all right, here comes a big shocker. I don't know if anyone knows this. Mordred, C tier. I do not care for Mordred. I don't know how many people expected Mordred to be there. I actually pretty much hate Mordred. Well, I won't say hate. But I don't care for her at all. I know she's got a lot of love. Her being Saber of Red conflicts with the Red Saber. Also, I really don't care much for her personality. So, probably the biggest shocker on this tier list is going to be her. Yagyu, Sit Master, C tier. As much as I love arts memes, he during his chapter, he didn't really make any kind of like impression on me or anything like that. I know he's got a good kit. His design's very meh as well. So he really doesn't have much going for him on that side. Okita. So here's a fun fact about Okita. We're gonna move her to A tier at this point. So back when I first started getting into Fate, before I knew Nero existed, I'd actually saw Okita, and I thought that it was just, for whatever reason, Saber or Artoria, as a just a different coloring variation, very similar to like how Saber Lilly is the thing. Obviously, it's a different servant entirely, but as a result, I did end up liking her a lot, and I like her design now. Obviously, Good is going around, and you can just kind of get more love for her there. But all in all, pretty solid Saber, pretty fun servant, pretty good character entirely. Saber Shiki, probably A tier as well. I actually really like Saber Shiki. She back when I first rolled for her, back when she first came out in North America, I didn't roll for her because Nero Bride was as close as what it was. She was, so I just didn't have a chance to. It was before I was a super fat whale. Now, though, that's a different story. And obviously, I have her MP5 as a result. 999. I like the K&K movies. She doesn't really show up a whole lot in there. But her character's still very interesting, lore-wise. She's also definitely waifu bait, as some would call her. But I do like her design as well. First Ascension, best Ascension, for sure. But just all in all, she's just a pretty great character. I like her personality. Like her design. Can't go wrong with it. Alright, we're down to the last one. Tomoe. So, here's the thing. I would have liked Tomoe a lot more. She would have probably been A tier. Just because I kind of like her design. I like her personality. And then she made a line in her recent interlude that I did. Which, similar to Gawain, insulted Nero. Now, she's not going to get D tier bad. She will, however, be moved down to the B tier. As in very meh, because of that insult. In all seriousness, though, she might have fallen in A tier. She did insult Nero, which is a hurt against her. But her design's pretty nice. At least, I like her third Ascension the best. The first two really don't do it for me. Her personality's pretty interesting. But that's kind of where she goes. That's the main reason why she's getting in B tier. So, with that being said, it's time to pick the Golden Honey. Who will reign top of the top? So, kind of like what I was saying, only one of the ones from the S tier are actually going to be in the Golden Honey tier. Now, I'm going to go ahead and knock off Lancelot. While I do like Lancelot, he's definitely not going to be in the Golden Honey. Okita I also really, really like. Not enough to make Golden Honey. She, like I said, she's a great character. I can't wait to see her in her summer outfit and like experience that. But we still have a while for that. Musashi, your story or her story is still growing. And I know she plays a part in the other Lost Boats and stuff. So there is that. And I do really, really like Musashi as a character, just in general. Her personality, everything that she does is funny. She's really good servant-wise. All of her ascensions are really good. Her MP is extremely cool. Her skill set's unique. So there is that. Nero Bride, probably the easiest MP5 servant I've ever gotten. It was like 600 quartz. Also, just... Man, I could go on for Nero Bride for days. Definitely waifu choice. Literal waifu and non-literal waifu. But not only that, anytime I needed a single target saber, I've always been able to rely on her. I like all of her designs. All her ascensions are pretty great. Her MP, I feel like her MP lines are pretty good. All of her like character traits are just like Nero, regular Nero, just a little more endearing, I suppose. And finally, the 4-star Nero in Grand Order. Obviously, OG Nero, the one that I'm playing as an extra, who, honestly, it's a really tough choice between Nero Bride and Nero on which one's going to win. I like her character in extra. It's been really great to kind of go back through that, or go through the game for the first time and see that kind of personality. Her being is centerfold in like Nero Fest, and her being in Septum, along with being in the Solomon chapter, showing up in interludes pretty frequently and other events. She also has a lot going for her. But ultimately, I think I have to decide that the Golden Honey is going to be Nero Bride. I ended up getting Nero Bride MP5 slightly before regular Nero. Nero Bride just kind of holds like a special place in my heart for what she did. And, you know, her being the first 5-star that I had that was MP5 was also something else. So, like I said, she just... anytime I've needed a single target saber, she was my go-to. She's Bond 10 now. I fully expect when we get the... I can't remember what the items are called. The Flames, or whatever, that let you get Bond 15. She's absolutely getting them. So, that being said, this is my tier list. Just kind of want to reiterate, these are my opinions on what I think of the servant as a whole. mainly just by like what their character appearance is, their personality. Obviously, everyone should be slightly different in some variation. If you like this type of thing, like the video, leave a comment. Let me know if you guys want to see more of them. Obviously, there's many classes that we can do this on. And hopefully it won't be as long. I didn't actually mean for this one to go as long as what it is. But, you know, I guess there's a lot of sabers in Fate Grand Order. So, that's going to do it for this. And, like I said, if you like this video, let me know. Let me know in the comments what your tier list is going to be. And I'm going to catch you guys next time.